Alright everyone, time to play Nations, a Civilization board game. I will be playing against the dummy AI, although it is not dummy, it is actually quite ruthless, and it's quite tough to beat. This will be my third time playing against it. I think I have a pretty good grasp of the rules, although I'm sure that you'll let me know if I make any mistakes. I'm not going to go too much into how to play the game. Plenty of other videos out there about that. And plus, it is very easy to learn, I think. So, rather than go over everything, I'm just going to start the game up. I already shuffled all the cards I need, stuff like that. So I am playing with the vanilla Civilization side A, so everything's they'd all be playing the same if I was playing against other people. Playing with just a basic deck of cards, none of the advanced cards in there, and I'm playing on Prince difficulty. So I shuffled everything so I can start pulling these out. Hopefully you can somewhat see the cards. I know they're a little far away. I will tell you any card that I end up buying. If you don't know how the solo game works, basically I will be first drawing an event tile. Normally if you're playing a regular game you have an event card that comes out and goes on the board and just lets you know what you can do to possibly get some bonus points. When you're playing the solo game, you're just pulling out a cardboard card that tells you what the AI's military stability is every round, how many architects are going to be out that round, and what the famine is going to cost you at the end of the round, stuff like that. And then it also tells you what's going to happen if you roll a 5 or 6 on this dice. If you roll 1 through 4, basically the AI buys just one row of cards. So you clear out that row. This is row 1, 2, 3, 4 if you roll any of those. Like I just rolled a 3, so I take out all those cards. And then it has special instructions for what to do if you roll a 5 or a 6. Before you pull that out, though, you do decide, just like a normal round, what you want to take for growth, whether it be another player, or if you're going to take gold, food, or ore, the amount depending on what difficulty you're on. I'm playing on Prince, so I'd get 3, whichever one I picked, or again, just take a guy. I don't think you'd ever take a guy on the first turn. But I'll take a look at what cards we have out and decide from there what I want to do. Probably, no military stuff came out. I still have the Axeman on the board if I want to go for military, but nothing that great came out for that. I do like the leader, St. Augustine. I played with that last time. It's important, I think, that even if you don't go for a military strategy, at the very least, try to get something on both colony spaces that you have early on. At least then, even if you don't keep your military, you can still have those and continue to just generate whatever they got you. Same for leader, or the advisor, whatever they call it. It's good to at least have something down there to it's, resources that you're gathering every round that you don't have a guy on, which comes in very handy and allows you to get more guys out on the board if you don't have to have everyone that you already have out dedicated to making more resources. So you start the game with 3 food, 6 ore, 6 gold, 7 victory points. And so now I have to decide what I want to take. Probably, since I already have 6 of the ore, 6 of the gold, I'm going to go with 3 food. And we'll see what ends up happening, because I don't even know what the famine is going to be for this round yet. And if it's bad, then I'll be glad that I picked up the extra. So now I will pull the card for who I will be facing. Alright, he has 6 military. He has 1 stability. 1 architect gets put out on the board. I give him 2 more culture, which brings him up to 4. Famine not that bad, it's only being -1 this round. If I roll a 5, he loses 1 military. If I roll a 6, he gains 2 culture. Sometimes you'll have the 5 and the 6 are both negative things, so those are the rounds where you kind of want to keep going and press your luck, because you might actually continue to weaken your opponent as it goes on. But in this case, I don't want to push my luck, since if I keep rolling 6s, his culture is going to keep going up. So to start, I think I'm going to spend the 2 and take St. Augustine. Now I roll the dice for him every time I either buy a card from here, play a military, putting a guy in here. I can put guys on just my regular buildings without having to roll from. But if I do any military stuff, I have to roll the dice. Or if I buy the architect. But I don't know. I don't really see myself buying either one of those wonders that are out right now. But because I bought that card, I'll roll the dice for him. Roll a 3 again. So this deck, which is this row right here, goes away. Alright, so I still have 4 to spend. Probably Aqueduct only costs 1. And again, something that increases stability. Oh, and that reminds me that I need to increase the stability for putting him down. I think I'm going to put that there. So now I have 1 stability off of here, 1 stability off of there. So mine goes up to 2. I'm currently ahead of him. I'm going to roll again. Roll a 3 again, which is okay because it's already clear. Don't have to do anything else for that. So I have 5 guys that I can put on the board. And I do have 6 ores, so should be fairly easy for me to get these guys down. And like I said, the only time I'd have to roll for putting guys down on here is if I were to put them on the military spot. I could... I mean, I'd have to put 3 guys down in order to get this one, which just does not seem worth it to me. This doesn't really seem worth it either. I already bought an advisor for this round. If I did put down 1 Axeman, it would just be enough for me to do the battle card. Battle ones, you just take whatever the raid number is off of your military, and you can collect that many of what's on the card, either culture or food or ore. So if I had 1 Axeman, I'd be able to collect 2 of whichever one I choose. But that costs 3, and I'm not really thinking I want to spend that much on it just yet. However, I do want to spend 2 to get this extra culture right here. I do try to stay ahead of them in it because I don't like being behind in it. It's really probably the main reason. So I'll spend another 2. And this card I just discard. I don't have to keep it anywhere, so it says +2. Which brings me up to 3 on the culture track, and now I have to roll for him again. 1. Gets rid of that 1 battle card I didn't care about anyway. Now I'm going to figure out where I'm putting my guys. Oh, I already made a mistake. I didn't put a guy on here, and yeah, I raised my stability by 1, so let me bring that back down. I'm just at 1 from the St. Augustine. But I am going to want to get some stability going because another thing when you're playing the solo game is that if you have higher stability than your opponent, you get 1 victory point at the end of each round. If you have lower, then you lose 1 victory point. So I always try to stay ahead of that one too. So I'll start by spending 1 ore, and I'll put him on the aqueduct, which now I can go back and raise this up to 2 like I had it before. I want to be collecting ore and money, so I think I'll put 1 guy on there. And more money and some culture is always good, so I'll spend another for that one. I think I will put one on there, one more ore, and that one will make my stability go up as well. And I have one more guy. I think I'll get myself some more ore. And probably next round I'll end up using my growth to get more ore, since I just blew through all of it, but we'll see what ends up coming up in the progress cards next round. So I believe that's everything I want to do this turn. So now it's time to produce. You start with the gold. I have 1 gold, 2, 3, 4 gold. Next you move on to food. I get 2 food from that one. And now I'm rolling in food. I won't even need that much of it since I don't have any military. Next is ore. I have 2 on there. And lastly, culture. So because of my advisor, if I have the most ability, which I do, I get 2 more culture. Plus I have 1 on here for a total of 3, which puts me ahead of him. Alright, next you do player order. He goes first, and this is the thing I always forget to do, is that because he has higher military, I have to roll the die before I do anything else, before I start doing anything on the next round. I always have trouble remembering that one. So because his military was 6 and mine was 0, he's going to get to go first, so to speak, in the next round. War, we didn't have one. Events, you don't have to worry about when you're playing a solo game. And the famine was -1. So I'll spend 1 food for that, which was not that bad. And then, because I had higher stability than him, I gain 1 victory point. And that's the first round. So, move on to round 2. Going to clear off these cards that were not purchased or swept away by him. These slide down. Now I fill up everything else. War, pyramids, synagogue, another war, a battle, another war, brewery, Macedonia, another battle, and Stonehenge. So anytime you roll for your opponent and it ends up being one of these rows that has a war in it, you put that war in the war space, and you're adjusted to whatever his military is at the time. So most likely a war is going to be coming out this round, although none of the numbers on them are too bad. My stability is at 3. I'll probably get that up, try at least to get that up higher this round. So even if I end up losing, my stability should keep me from having to lose too much. So those are out. This is my growth. Food I'm not too worried about. I have 5 gold, so I think I'm going to go and take 3 ore. Don't know yet if I'm moving anyone around or not, but good to have just in case. So now that that's done, I'll draw a new card for my opponent. This time his military is 7, his stability is at 2, so I'm still ahead of him. 4 architects go out, which is nice, but I am still not working on a wonder. His culture goes up by 1. The famine will be 3 food, and if I roll a 5, it's -3 architects, so a lot of those will just go away if I end up rolling a 5, which I don't really care about. and rolling a 6 is -2 to military. So like I said, it's one of those rounds where you kind of want to push your luck, so to speak, and try to get as much as you can, since if you roll a 5 or 6, you know, it doesn't really affect me that much, and I see a lot of this stuff that's out on the board going away soon anyway. So first thing I'd like to go for is, probably want to go for that synagogue. That's going to cost me 2. And I'm going to put it where the temple is now. Anytime you replace a card, you have to take any guys that are on it back into your reserve, so then you have to pay to get them back out again. So I have to roll, because I just took one of the cards. Hoping for a 6. We'll see what happens. 4. Alright, Stonehenge goes away, this battle goes away, Macedonia goes away, but a war has not come out yet, so at least there's that. Serious decisions to be made. I can afford to, you know, have one military guy out. I think it would only cost me 1 food. I'm obviously not going to beat him in military, since this is 7 and I'm not really going for that. But at the very least, if I put one guy on the Axeman, then I would be able to do this battle and take 2 of whichever one I wanted. So I think I'm going to do that. This guy got taken off. We'll go with there. Now my military goes up to 2. Although, like I said, it's not going to matter much this round. And then the raid on it, and sometimes the military strength and the raid are going to be different numbers, but the raid number is the one you want to look at for the battles. You are just, wherever that raid number is the number that you get off the battle. But, because I did military action, to roll this, hopefully I'm not going to roll 3, because I'm going to lose that battle, and there you go. So not only can I not take the card I was going for in the Horizon built military, but also the War of Alexander goes out. It has a military strength of 7, much like our guy, and but the negative is only -2. I am still going to lose the victory point for it, but I do have enough stability to cover not losing the losing any food to it. Alright, so that did not go the way that I wanted it to. And I'll take this off the board as well. So I don't have enough to get either one of those, but I kind of feel like, since I'm already invested in this whole military thing at this point anyway, I'm going to take one of my guys off of here, spend 1 ore, and now put him on as an axeman, which brings my military up to 4. Nubia, if I'm saying that right, you need at least 3 in order to take, and Hispania, you need 4 to take. So probably the 2 food is more worthwhile to me at this point. So because I did military action, I have to roll again. Now at this point, hopefully not rolling a 1 or 2. And I rolled a 1. So this game can be brutal because of how you roll. Alright, so I did that. Now, with the only thing left for me to do is spend 1. And I, at the very least, get to take this, which is going to give me 2 more gold each round, because I bought a card. Roll again for him. Don't even care what it is at this point. And I rolled a 5, takes all of these away. Not that it matters. And I believe, well, I didn't get that card. I do have some ore, and I think I'd rather reassign these guys. If I reassign them now, since I'm going to lose the military anyway, at least then I won't have to pay the negative food for each one of them, and I can put them on some better spots. So I'm going to take these guys back and bring my military back down to 0. I'll spend 1, and let's see. Gonna put this one. I'm already in head of stability, so I don't really have to worry about that. I'll put 1 on the synagogue. We're gonna use some more money, and then I will spend another. Put that on the quarry so I can get more ore. Alright, and I believe that'll be it for that round. So going to production, get 2 for him, get 4 there, 5. So I have 5 gold. Oh, and I have this colony. So actually I have 7 gold. So that's pretty nice. Be able to buy some stuff in the next round. Next is food. I don't have any guys on military, so I don't have to pay that. I have the 1 guy on the aqueduct, so I get 2 food for him. Or I have 2 guys on the quarry, so I get 2. And then for culture, again, I'm ahead of him in stability, so I get 2 culture from there. I have 1 on synagogue, so that is another 3 for me, which brings me up to 9. Alright, so then the war, I actually do player order first, I guess. It stays the same, he's ahead of me. Next go to the war. So I lose a victory point because I cannot beat the military strength of 7 that it has. But my stability is 3, which is higher than the -2, so I don't have to pay the food for that one. And then the famine, but I do still have to pay the famine on the card, which was 3, so I'm paying that. Now I'm getting 1 victory point, which kind of makes up for losing the war. Get 1 victory point for having higher stability than him, so I'll take back that victory point that I had. Now we're going into scoring for the first age here. So for the solo game, if you have higher culture than your opponent, then you take 3 victory points. So I will do that now. And now we're ready to start the second age. So this slides down, moving that to stage 1 of the medieval age. And now I'm drawing from this deck here. Lombardy, a battle, another battle. I don't have any military. Oh god, what do they call those? Can't even remember what the yellow ones are called right now, sorry. University, that one looks very nice. Windmill, also looks good. Market, guarantee I'm going to roll a 3. Wow, look at all this blue coming out. I'm going to roll a 3 the first time. I can just feel it because I want all of those cards at once. So, no way I'm going to be able to get all of them. It's just how the game rolls sometimes. So, food, not too worried about right now. I have plenty of money to buy the cards, although I'm sure I won't get a chance to buy them anyway. Let's take this off too. This goes back. So I think I'm just going to take 3 ore because I'm probably going to be reassigning a lot of my guys. Okay, now I draw the new event card for my opponent. This time, military stays the same. It's at 7. His stability goes down to 1. I put 2 architects out. He gets 4 culture, which actually brings him up to where I am right now. Famine's going to be -3 food. If I roll a 5, it's -1 to the architects. And if I roll a 6, he gains 1 stability, which is something I need to look out for because that would not be fun. Of course, neither will him stealing all these cards that I want either. So we're going to do the best we can with this. First and foremost, I think I want this university. It's going to be 2 ore and 2 culture. Come in super handy for me. So I will spend 1 and take that. And I mean, I do have plenty of money already. And it's going to increase culture. So I think, because the money is doing alright, I'm going to put it on top of the synagogue. But I'm probably covering, if I can get some more of these, then I'm covering up other spots. But we'll see what happens. Again, really just hoping for, like, the 2 would be okay. But we'll see what I roll. And of course, I roll a 4. So this watermill that I wanted is gone. But this is the fantastic thing about playing against the opponent. He just, despite him not being real, he seems to always sense the cards I'm thinking about grabbing. So now that that option is gone, I really wanted that watermill, so I'd have one that's generating 3 ore and then one food, but that's not an option anymore. So I think I will, I don't know, I'm not really crazy about either one of those cards as much as I was about that one. I'm going to spend 2, and we're just going to, I'm going to see how the rest of this plays out, but I'm going to spend 2 so I can buy this one, which will give me another 2 culture. Bring me up to 11. This is a little closer to me in culture than I like, so I'm trying to stay ahead from there. Roll the dice. Probably end up rolling a 3 if I had to predict. 6. Adds 1 to stability, so he's right behind me there. Don't want to lose my the victory point I'll get for staying ahead of him in that. And I have 1 guy to put on the board. I do have plenty of ore. So I'm wondering if I want to pull a couple guys off the quarry so I can put them on the university. Put a guy in with ability. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend 2. Put 1 guy in university. Going to spend another 1. Put the guy on the caravan, which is going to make my stability go up 1. And with this last guy, food is still okay. I'm going to lose 3 this round, but I'm not spending any on guys, so I'm not overly worried about it. I think I'm going to spend another 2 and put him on the university. This way I definitely have some ore going for the next round. The real question is if I'll be able to grab myself another guy on the next round. Have some money. I'm wondering if I should grab the windmill while it's out. I think I will just in case. Right, so I'm going to spend 3. Sorry, well, I'm putting 2. I'm taking 1 back, and I will put this on top of the quarry because I bought a card. Have to roll this dice. Roll 4, doesn't matter, I already cleared it out. Alright, so I think that's that for that. Time to produce. Starting again with the gold. Not as much this time. I have 2 on here, which is going to give me 2, and I still have this colony, which gives me another 2, so that's 4. But I still have 8 total, which is pretty good. Next, doing food. 1 guy on the aqueduct, so that gives me another 2. Or I have 2 guys on here, so that gives me 4. And lastly, culture. I'm ahead in stability, so that's another 2. I have 2 guys on here, which brings me up to 6. So yeah, 6 culture. Starting to feel like I'm pulling away from a little bit. Brings me up to 17. Alright, now player order. Again, he's, oh, and see, and I forgot to do it. I forgot to roll because he was ahead of me. I always forget to do that. I think I'll roll another one now. I mean, I think we can all admit that I got screwed out of roll anyway at the beginning. I roll 5, which takes an architect away, not a big deal. Always the thing I forget is to roll for him at the beginning of the round since he's ahead of me in the player order. So yeah, back to this round. Player order, he's ahead of me. War, we actually didn't have one this round, so I don't have to worry about that. Events, or no events. Famine, was -3. I'll pay that food. I still have another 5. Stability, I'm ahead of him, so I get 1 victory point. And now we go on to the second part of the second age. Clear off these ones that weren't bought. Slide these down. Maybe I'll pick up the market since now it's a lot cheaper for me to get. Cathedral. Ooh, Cathedral is 2 ore and 2 stability. That seems pretty nice. The Madrasa. A Mosque. Golden Age. That's what those yellow cards are called. Drew a complete blank on that one. Say the, I'm going to say that wrong. See John the Great. Anytime you buy a Golden Age card, you get 2 more ore when you buy it, which is pretty great, and it has, and you generate 2 food. Probably won't be spending 3 to pick that up, but if it's still around at the end, oh, and Thomas Aquino comes out, which is basically the better version of this one because you get 4 culture if you are ahead in stability instead of just 2. So this is actually probably my top priority is to pick that one up, along with one to get the Cathedral, which will be pretty nice. So as far as growth, probably thinking if I get a guy on the windmill, and I'll make sure I get a guy on the windmill, get a guy on the windmill and or 2, but instead of collecting anything around, because I got the 5 food, and I'll make sure I get more. I have 6 ore right now. I don't have any wonders I'm working on, which is another thing that can really you know, chomp away at the ore. Since all I'm doing is just spending ore to get my guys back on the board after I buy something, I think I will just take a guy off of the food one. So now I have 1 more guy to use. Now I'm going to grab the card for him. Slide that over to the second spot. And hopefully there isn't like having to pay 6 food or something like that on it. Nope, we're good. Military, his is 10. His stability goes up to 3. And 3 architects go out. Again, this doesn't really matter because I don't have any wonders I'm working on. He gains 5 culture. This brings him up to 14. Famine's going to be -2. Every time I roll 5, we're going to lose an architect. Every time I roll 6, he's going to lose stability. So this is one of those times where I don't mind continuing to roll. I think first and foremost, there's quite a few cards that I want to get. I want to get this one, I want to get this one, I want to get this one, I want to get this one. No way I'm going to be able to grab all those before I roll bad and he swoops in. But I think first and foremost, I want to grab that new advisor since I really like the way it works and this is just more of a good thing. Getting 4 culture instead of 2 as long as I keep my stability above my opponent. So now I roll 5. So we lose an architect. Not a big deal. So far, so good. Next, I think... I mean, I'm not really doing anything with military, so I kind of feel like I can cover up this spot. And I already have ore going. Probably be good to make sure I have money going again. So I think I'll spend the 2 and take the mosque. Put it over my Axeman. Roll for him. And I forgot to roll for him at the beginning of the round. So I'm going to roll twice here and we're going to see how this goes. Roll a 6. Okay with that. His stability went down. Roll again. 2. Actually, it's not too bad. That was 1 row I was okay giving up. Alright, so now that we're caught up on that, I have 1 guy that I can put out. I'm going to lose 2 food this round, but I do have some, so it's not a huge priority for me. And I'm going to generate more this round. So I'm kind of, if I leave him there, that's good. I think I just want to spend 2 ore and put this guy in the mosque. So that my stability is going to go up another 2. I'm up to 6 total. And I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I'm not really worried about food right now, so even though the windmill would generate more, I'm not sure I really want to pull anyone off to put it on there. I do have money coming in, so anytime there's a Golden Age card out that I usually just try to buy it, just because it seems like I always make sure that I have enough gold to buy the stuff that I want, but some of the other things are a little hard to grab, so I'm having to just spend 2 on that and grab 2 ore for it. Roll again. 4. This one goes away, not a big deal. Probably not going to bother with that market. I have enough other stuff going on. I don't really think I need it. With the cathedral, 2 ore and 2 stability if I have a guy on it. I mean, that would probably be... I have enough guys to do it. And I have other money. I might end up taking the money on this growth run since I really can't afford to get another guy anyway. So I think I will spend the 2. I'll take the cathedral and I'm going to put it here. So now these 2 guys are off and it's going to cost me 2 to put them back on. But I do have it. Stability goes down 1 for that. But it's going to go back up again. Spending 2 ore. Putting 1 there. Stability goes up 2. And then another 2 ore. Stability goes up another 2. Now mine's at 9, which is pretty great. Did I roll for buying that card? I don't think I did. I'm going to roll it just in case. I can't remember now. 6. The stability goes down 1. Doesn't really matter at this point. Alright, time for production. First do the gold. Only 2. So definitely going to be taking gold as part of the growth on the next round. Then let's see what we got. Food. I'm generating 2, but I'm losing 3 now that I grab that other guy. So I'm spending 1 for that. Ore. I have 2 guys on here. Ooh, I'm gonna have a lot of ore coming because I have 2 guys on here. I have 2 guys on here. So it's gonna be 8 total. If anything, it's too much. I need to readjust my guys, but I like the other things that are on the cards that they're on. So for now, they're staying where they are. Culture, I am ahead in stability, so I get 4 off of that. Another 4 there. That's another 8 books. Oops, that's him. So that brings me up to 25. And actually, I only took 2. I forgot about this colony. So I actually owed another 2 gold. Still, that's only 5, so I'm still taking the gold in the next round. Did all that. Player order, he's still ahead of me, as he will continue to be. We didn't have a war this round, which was really nice. Famine was -2. Might need to do something about food on this next round since I'm down to 2. And I'm ahead of him in stability, so I take 1. And then because I'm ahead of him in culture and it's time to score, get another 3 victory points. Alright, so that was the first 2 ages of the game. I'm going to put the last 2 in another video since, well, it'll be a very long video if I did it all at once. Alright, so see you in the next video.